Known for their soulful live performances, renowned South African group, the Muffinz, are set to deliver a captivating and unforgettable performance when they take to the Theatre of Marcellus stage at the Emperor's Palace on the 3rd of June. The Muffinz have been making waves in the music scene since their formation back in 2010 and have since released 2 critically acclaimed albums, Have You Heard and Do What You Love. The duo Sifiso, Atomza, Buthelezi and Simphiwe, Simz, Kulla join me now in studio. Jen, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. I mean, more than 10 years now in the industry. I mean, a lot can be said about the Muffinz. But let's speak about, the journey getting to where we are right now. I mean, over 10 years, how's the group evolved, especially musically?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us, Nhlanhla. The music evolved as we evolved as well. I do remember when we had released our first album, most of the songs were songs that we had written in our youth, of course. And so we also played them at the level of experience that we were at the time, and level of technical prowess that we were at the time. But as we grow, I guess, there's things that you pick up along the way. There's certain styles you want to try out just to, keep your own boredom away, as a musician, and keep things exciting for yourself. And so it's like the sound is still largely soulful. It's still largely us, and African, and all the things that we aspire to be, and I don't know, the sound is still the Muffinz sound.
And I guess, Simz, in the same breath, your music has been described as a blend of jazz and soulful melodies as well. But speaking about this evolution, how would you describe the sound that Sifiso and I are speaking about right now?
I think that the sound that Sifiso is speaking about it's because, where we grew up is what we were listening to, jazz and gospel and soul, So for you to be, for you to have an identity in what you're doing, you need to start with what your parents are listening to,
Sure.
And that then grows into your sound and your identity as you go. And then you let go of certain rules and things, and then you start making music really for yourself. And I think that's what the people were gravitating towards. I guess they found themselves in what we were doing, which was not even the goal at first. We were just trying to express ourselves, really. So it's really humbling to even be here, to even be doing the show, to even... to see even our sound mature throughout these 12 years, It's crazy what we're going through, actually.
And people have been asking, when I met you the last time while recording an ad, I'd asked you, I was like, what has happened to the Muffinz? Where have you guys been? And speaking about what's to come, a lot can be expected from this upcoming performance at the Theatre of Marcellus at Emperor's Palace.
Yes.
Tell us, what can your fans expect, or those who are going to get their hands on a ticket, what can they expect from this concert?
Well, music. It's as your intro said, right? We have 2 albums, actually 3 if you count in the live album that we recorded at Yamaha.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of singles that we released over the years as well. So we'll try and squeeze in as much of that repertoire as we possibly can. We'll definitely include all the favorites, from our fans and supporters. And some of the stuff that really, actually, for the type of music that we do, really became famous in South Africa a couple of years ago, when we first released it. So we'll be performing a large part of our repertoire. In our repertoire as well, we like to pay it forward, and sort of pay homage to some of our South African greats, and so we cover some songs as a tribute of sorts, but not only tribute in the sense that we're dedicating a certain time to them, but, there's certain money that goes towards those artists when you perform those songs, and so there's that as well. And so we're really excited. We're going to have a pianist, a keyboardist, a regular feature of ours, Mpokopedi. And we're so excited for it, like I was saying earlier, we don't often play theatre shows. We'll play private shows, weddings, we'll play live outdoor performances, festivals and things like that, But theatre shows, there's something special about it.
It's a different space.
Different space, different energy, And so I think I'm looking forward to that. I know Simz also feels the same about theatre spaces, and the audience respect for the sound, I guess, and for the music in that space. So that's encouraging, and it makes me excited personally because that's what I feel.
Simz, so Sifiso was speaking about a pianist that you guys have collaborated with, but notably in your latest single, You're the One, it features a pianist and singer, that's Lisa Katoba. Can you tell us a bit more about this collaboration and how the song came about?
You are the
one?
That one, right? I had to make sure, you know, because I don't know them by title. I know them by melody, actually.
I feel it, yeah.
No, also Cooper is on that song, actually.
Yes,
Kupedi.
yes.
He played piano. He's one of my closest friends. And look, man, just to collaborate with people in the age that we're in is such a blessing. Like we're at a point in our stage where we appreciate even the young ones. It's so weird. Like at 25, we were like particular kinds of like talent. Like we saw ourselves, but like we watch the 25-year-olds of this generation, and they're like leaps ahead.
Yes, definitely.
And it's so nice to like watch them like be where they're at, you know, to the point where we just want to share the stage with them. You know, we can learn so much from like the young ones as well. It makes us young in a weird way as well. Maybe that's what we're trying to do, you know, trying to like drink water from the fountain of youth by featuring all these artists with us, you know. So I think it speaks to the testament of what the Muffinz have done. It speaks testament to our record label as Oral Sense. That we're trying to just like grow the sound, not just in the Muffinz, but in like other people who are in the space.
So much of our conversation is touched on the theme of evolution. And I'm sure there are quite a number of memorable moments that you look back at, especially within this over 10-year journey that you guys have traveled. What would you say stood out?
Well, I think...
I'm interested in this as well.
I'll start now, actually, and say that I think this is standing out. The fact that, you know, we've been in a band for over 12 years. Right, and we managed to sort of hold it together. And that shows a high level of cooperation to some degree, you know. And I think a band is like a microcosm of a nation or a country, you know. We're different individuals, you know, who believe in different things, who feel and are drawn towards different things. But, you know, we're able to cooperate and make this happen and mostly stay alive. You know, I think that's the most important thing. As to what we achieved or what has happened, I mean, of course, the awards are nice. The traveling is nice. You know, strangely enough, also in the right circumstances, being recognized, you know, and being offered opportunities as a result of that is nice. You know, so I guess for me, the softer things about what we were doing have been great. There's, you know, of course, I can mention events, but you know, I think like the fact that we're still together is like the highlight for me. The fact that, you know, we haven't released an album since 2012, you know, but I mean since 2015. But there's no pressure for us to do that, you know. Like our fans and like our supporters allow us the space to grow as musicians, you know. And I'm really grateful that we've managed to sort of carve out this particular aspect of the industry for ourselves, you know, and we had the support that was there. And so, major highlight is that for me, man.
You know, we would have loved to have the whole group here and possibly see if we can sneak in a performance, but we've got you covered. For our viewers, let's get the latest visuals from the group right now. Here's their single. Just looking at those visuals, I mean, I'm sure it brings back a lot of memory. And, of course, taken from other albums that you have had in the past, Have You Heard and Do What You Love. And just reminiscing and looking at those visuals, what kind of emotion spurs up right now?
We were young then.
Yeah, we were quite. And we actually, you know, people always ask about this. Where did you shoot this video? You know, we actually had a mine dump, Ekurhuleni somewhere.
Nigel.
You know, in Nigel. Yeah. You know, and so it's like, I mean, even that is nice, you know, the fact that, like, we could find a solution like that. We couldn't find the deserts around us, but, like, oh, man, there's mine dumps all around. Let's find a mine dump and make it look like a desert. You know, I think that's pretty inventive, and I think it talks to the character of the people we had around us and, like, type of people that we are as well. And so it makes me great, man, the fact that it makes me feel great that we can play this now, and it still looks like...
Still looks quality, man.
Looks like it's quality, you know. So we've got something going, and it's nice to look back like this.
It's humbling, yeah.
Look at yourself.
You know, before I let you go, a lot's said about the creating music or the process of creating music. You guys have described yourself as a live band, but take some of our viewers through the creative process for the Muffinz. How does it work when all the gents are together?
It's literally like a muffin. Everyone is an ingredient in the band, you know. Yeah. So Sifiso and Mta, I like to call them the wordsmiths. You know, they're so good with words, so good with phrasing, so good with expressing a feeling with just how a word is sung, you know. So we really rely on them when it comes to words for stuff like that. They teach us a lot as well. Keke is like the glue, really. He does so many things, you know. He's our drummer. He's got an extraordinary voice, and he sings in tongues, you know. And literally, yeah. Nta's the most talented, I think, out of all of us. He can do so many things. And then Jeff and I really focus on the music. It's what we love to do. So we're part of the production team, if you want to say. We focus on just chord movements, arrangements, and the production of the music. And we complement each other. It's not to say that this is where everyone is. Everyone can definitely move around. But it's nice to know that I can lean on, the brothers on something else, and they can lean on me on something else. So it works. It's collaborative. It's a band. We're a team, and we make the team work.
Like Z-Band, for real.
So, Sifiso, we were commemorating Africa Day this week. And as a South African band, I want to get a sense of how important it is for you, especially, to incorporate elements of your call it African heritage and culture into music as well.
I think it does have a certain importance. But then I do also have to say, I think we have to pick carefully what we do want to be our heritage. But and so also these things start by us explaining, what is this Africa we are talking about? Like what does Africa Day look like to us as Africans in Africa? What can we do with it? Number one, as well. What sort of messaging do we want to promote with the idea of an Africa Day? Before it gets to the artists now, who have to decide what they are going to put in their music in order to share with the masses. You understand? So I think there are bigger conversations that need to be had about our place as Africans, our identity, right? And an identity that's not based on, I don't know, on delusions. I want to say it, on misrepresentations and disinformations. I would rather prefer we base our heritage and history on just the facts and the truths of what happened. And if we have to build myths for ourselves, let's do that. But let's do it knowing what we're doing. And so that's where I think there's a responsibility in speaking about Africa Day. But there's a lot of work we have to do before we can even spread that word about, it's Africa Day, happy Africa Day. What does it mean? And actually, after we figured out what it means, what ideas about Africa Day would we like to propel into the future for my kids? You understand? So I think that's important. And I haven't had that conversation. Maybe I have with myself, but I think as a society, we haven't had that. And I think it's necessary that we do.
Might get into a bit of trouble with my bosses, but I'm going to give you guys the plug. This upcoming performance, how can people get their hands on tickets? Give us dates and time as well.
Well, I mean, everyone can follow us at The Muffinz Music on all social platforms. Ticket Pro is where the tickets are at. You can definitely buy tickets. I think they are running out, so this last week is going to be tough. So you better get them either this weekend or in the next 2 days. Ticket Pro, we're going to be there performing. We will have some surprise acts as well. I don't want to say a few, but it's going to be a great time. At The Muffinz Music, all social media.
That's Simz as well as Sifiso Atomza from the Muffinz. Don't miss the performance. They'll be performing at Emperor's Palace very, very soon at the Marcellus Theatre. We'll bring you more news and updates shortly after this.